welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it's my pleasure to have with me Rashada Tedder with Life Incorporated. Welcome, Rashada.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Rashada, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am a Florida native, born and raised in Miami. I've been in education for over 23 years.
Okay.
I am the mother of a wonderful 16-year-old son and caregiver to my parents. And I am just a lover of people, and I have a passion and a heart for children.
Okay. So, in education, what did you do? Tell me a little bit about what you did in
So I
education.
started out teaching actually in Prince George's County, Maryland, and
Okay.
I've been somewhere everywhere. And then I was a resident principal, and then a principal, and then a district math specialist.
Okay.
And then I moved to Savannah to work with the company that I was with for the past 10 years, and
Hmm.
we operated non-traditional and alternative programs across the country.
That is
And
great.
so for the last 3 years, I was overseeing schools in Philadelphia, New Jersey, St. Louis, different places in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I
Yeah.
love women in STEM. So what made you transition from, something helping children
Mhm,
and, others become better educators
mhm.
to starting a nonprofit?
So when I graduated from college, I was, bright eyed, bushy tail, ready to save the world. And my personal education philosophy then was that the U.S. public education system is on the brink of destruction, and we as educators must save it. Like I really had this huge, I'm going to go save the world. And during my time in education, as I've worked with different schools
Hmm.
and school districts, I've learned that the public education system is still actually on the brink of destruction, and it has gotten worse actually with some populations of students. And so, for 20 years, I had this like nagging feeling in me to start a nonprofit. And I finally decided to take the leap in February because I really wanted to be able to reach more students, more communities, to focus on closing the gaps that exist, the access gaps, the resource gaps, the knowledge gaps, the achievement gaps in underserved communities.
Wow, that's great. And so your organization is Life Incorporated, but that's LIFEE. So
Yes.
tell us what that stands for.
It stands for Leading Initiatives that Foster Equity and Excellence Foundation.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I know you said that you're closing the gap as far as resources and
Mhm,
knowledge and things like that,
mhm.
but give me a better idea of some of the activities that you do to close that
Mhm.
gap.
So we provide one-on-one coaching to educators, to principals, leadership, and we do group coaching and leadership teams. We do programming for students, so we do post-secondary programming. We do tutoring, summer programs where we provide students with the opportunity to learn a trade. We also work with the school administration to bridge the gap between the school and the community so that they can have more community engagement and family engagement, and doing so, we hope to open up the doors for students to have internships and apprenticeships that will help them as they continue to grow and decide on what they want to do after they graduate from high school.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so do you get funding from donations, grants, or all of the above?
All of the above, yes.
Okay.
And by establishing partnerships with different districts and organizations.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so if people wanted to find out more, where do they go?
They can go to lifeinc.org, which is our website, lifee.org. Or they can go to the Life Foundation on LinkedIn, or the Life Foundation on Instagram, or the Life Foundation on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes.
And so if you had one thing to say to educators right now, and you some piece of advice or to a parent, let's put it
Mhm.
on a parent first of
Okay.
all. Okay. So what advice would you give to a parent?
Never let your hands go. Never take your hands off of your child. From elementary to high school, they need us, even though we may not think so, and even though they may not think so, they still need us to advocate on their behalf.
Okay. And then I'm
Yes.
gonna turn the tables. What would you say to the teachers since you work with educators too?
Yes, I would definitely say that that you are valued, that you are worth it. I know that the it's tough sometimes, but what you're doing is definitely making a difference, not only in the lives of the students that are in front of you, but for generations to come.
That's awesome. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for joining me
Thank
today.
you. It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us today. To learn more about Rashada Tedder and life, you can check out the interviews on northfleetsolutions.com. You can see about this wonderful organization and other organizations throughout Jacksonville. Um, Please support our local talent. And we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.